Alright, so the group got back to Dalesbury with the major and his men. The mayor was not too pleased with this and ordered everyone to leave the town within 36 hours. While Steve and Jax went to the bar, Rose and Sam went to check out the doctor's office. On the way, they saw the mayor and his lackeys acting shady and going into a basement. Not much came of the doctor's visit, so everyone met up in the middle of the road and snooped on the mayor. Back on the road, they met Rebecca Erickson, the widow of the previous mayor. She filled the group in on the first days of the infestation, both of the zombies and of the Lewis brothers. The mayor's lackeys brought the group out to the street and threatened them, which is where the sheriff stepped in. He confirmed what Rebecca said. Sam then relayed the day's information to Colonel Hauser during the sleep shifts. Sidebar, Zovia rolled for hotness and we got a Sam Elliott like Colonel. The next morning, while in town, automatic gunshots were heard. The group and the sheriff got there to hear a kerfuffle between the major
Sam
and mayor
Elliott.
over border
Sam
patrol.
Elliott.
It was decided that the last shift would be 3 of each of their men, headed by a neutral party, being us. Then the exiled would go and the town would go back to the way it was. Hours into the patrol, while looking through binoculars, we saw a massive horde about a day's shamble away. That's where we end. And Rose says, fuck me gently with a chainsaw because holy shit.
Wow. Nice recap. I like it, especially the Sam Elliott comment. That was kind of funny, just out of nowhere. Zevia says, "Can we get a hotness roll for the major or the colonel, whoever it was?" That was pretty good.
As the colonel, yeah.
Yeah, I was in a moment.
Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, so
Well, and someone looks like Sam Elliott.
yeah, he's the rugged. He's like the man's man, you know. He's like the man's man, the ruggish man's man. Coors, the banquet
Makes me want to
beer.
buy a Ram truck.
Yep, or a Coors banquet beer. Let me ask you this: what the hell is a banquet beer? I mean, is that just some
It
word
was supposed to be a
that
fancy beer.
they made up or something? Well, I don't think
Never heard of it.
Coors is. I think Coors isn't Coors a cheap beer. Isn't it Coors like Budweiser?
It is.
That's what you get, when you go bowling with all your friends.
Yeah.
$10 for 8 people.
Yeah, I would imagine wouldn't more like a Samuel Adams or something be a quote unquote banquet beer? Anyways, I guess that's
It's an
for
old
another
thing.
day.
That's what they
Yeah.
called it way back before it was like a cheap beer, and so they were just
really?
kind of going back. It's a historical thing.
Okay, all right, that's good.
And alliteration
That's
for
good
the
to know.
win.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so you guys saw that horde. That was a day's shamble, like Mrs. Rose had said. So you guys basically, head back to Dalesbury, and you find Major Morgan pretty quickly because everybody hears the 3 Humvees come back to the gate. Makes a lot of noise. So of course the Major and some of his men are there. The mayor is unavailable, but Major Morgan pretty much hears what you guys have to report to him, and then he wants you to take him to the spot to show him. So you guys jump back into the RVs real quick, well the Humvees, because Mayor John he's not there. He's not going to stop you. So after leading Major Morgan back to the rise where you first saw the approaching horde of living dead, they're all marching towards Dalesbury. The Major raises his night vision binoculars as he's got his mid torso up, looking down into the ravine down the road, and he stares into the distance, doesn't even move, and everything is silent. You can hear a pin drop, and then he slowly lowers him, and his face seems to be pale. Even in the night light, his face seems to be pale. So he kind of whispers a couple expletives and then looks at all of you, And he basically goes into saying that there's no way that we're going to be able to evacuate the town in time, folks. Even if the log-headed mayor, even if John's going to listen to us, there's no time that we're going to be able to evacuate everyone out of there. So there's no way to fortify the entire town. My men and I, we have limited ammunition. We have 50 cows, but if I had one of those damn tanks from Jacksonville, I could at least try to ram the horde with my men and bring the numbers down before they get to Dalesbury. So the major pretty much suggests that you guys go back to town and meet with the mayor and try to make some sense of all of this, because the mayor doesn't know yet. There are going to have to be some supplies gathered from somewhere, and there's going to be some fortifications that are going to have to be improved on. Major Morgan was pretty he was critiquing the defenses as he came as Mayor John. He said that they've had no problem whatsoever, but the major disagreed, especially with his 30 years of military expertise. I would take that man's word for it, and John just didn't. So, and then he goes on to saying, at least we're going to have to fortify the town where the living dead are going to have to, where the living dead are approaching at least. So, as everybody gets back to Dalesbury, the gates open, everybody drives in, and Major Morgan pretty much discusses with everyone else at the gate, starts to brief his men to get ready for work. So you're going to have to, you still don't see the mayor. If you guys want to give me some streetwise rolls, because you guys aren't really the most famous people in town anymore. So if you guys want to give me some streetwise checks, if you don't have streetwise, just do a unskilled check. Very good, Jax. All right, unskilled. Well, Steve, you definitely, in especially with a raise, you found out that he's in the diner. All right, he's in the diner. let me pull up the map really quick of the town.
That's the mayor, you mean, is in the diner?
Yeah, he's
Yep.
He's in the diner.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything marked diner on here. No, there's not. So the diner is wherever you want it to be. So
What's the store called? Feed?
I would guess that would be I don't know. We'll say that maybe that is where they're feeding. I don't know.
Over behind the theater.
Yeah,
Behind the theater.
the tiara, the theater.
All right, so
which is
I guess we need to all head towards the feed diner.
Yeah.
All right.
Couple.
yeah. There's also 2 bars too.
Yeah, Ken
Yeah, I
was,
kept getting confused.
sticking
I
out.
thought Ken's bar was the one by the gate, but I guess it was the other one.
Yeah, Ken's bar's pretty much in the middle of town. But Ken and a couple of the patrons heard all the ruckus. It's pretty quiet there at the at night inside Dalesbury. So that the Ken and a couple of patrons came out to see what was going on, and that's you found out your information from Ken that this is probably about the time that old John likes to have a special dinner with his brother.
Did Ken have my last beer with him?
Sure, he had a beer in his hand. Sure, absolutely.
If there's ever a time to drink, now's the time. So I would like to get my last beer.
Hey, no, he didn't have it on him, but he says, "I still owe you one. You come by anytime. You come by
That's fine,
anytime."
that's fine.
Oh, you'll have time. Don't worry, man. You can stop by and get that anytime. So on the way to the diner, you guys, the other bar that's the bar that's down there by the entrance. Michael and Mike, Zachary, and Joe, step out because you guys were the ones that were on patrol. So Mike, Zach, Joe step out of the bar. You guys are, Michael is completely shit-faced. 3 sheets to the wind. He's barely able to stand on his own. Zach and Joe are kind of holding him up a little bit, and they haven't even really had that much to drink. And they
Joe
see,
better not. He's supposed to be looking after Sam.
yeah, they see all of your faces, and they are wondering what's going on. What's going on, guys? Hey, what's going on, guys? I don't let it fool you. I can still hit the dime off of the top of a squirrel's head. Yep, that's right. And he says, "Oh my God, shut up! You are totally drunk, Michael." Zachary. He's like, "You stupid buckethead! You so drunk you can't even barely stand, knucklehead."
Well, there's a lot of dead heading this way, so better sober up quick.
Oh my God! So it is true, huh? So the mayor was wrong. The major was right. What the hell did the major lead those things right to this place, to this sacred little slice of the pie left that's good in the world?
Oh,
How they got here isn't the point. They're coming.
Well, Joe says, I'm gonna have to go and find Gregory and his boys and round up Samantha. And Michael kind of plops his butt down on the ground and starts to cry. And he says, all I want is just one goddamn minute of peace and quiet with no zombies. And Zachary says, you dumb buckethead, I'm gonna go get my guns and start getting ready. And he says, I'll come back and get you later. He kind of says crybaby as he walks off. So you guys, and this is happening right by the feed store. So Joe goes off because they're going to go get Gregory and his boys David and Timothy, and then also grab Samantha. And you guys are pretty much at the door of the diner now. We'll call it the feed store. How about that? The feed store right across
There you
the
go.
street. There you go.
Right.
That's the feed store.
Good name.
Yeah, I like it. That's what we'll do. We'll call it the feed store. So you guys inside the diner, as you guys go in, you can see the mayor and his brother. They're sitting in the rear of the diner, and you guys walk up, and it looks like they're getting some type of special treatment here. They're actually eating hamburgers and French fries. And you're like, what in the hell? There's a couple other patrons that are scattered throughout the diner. One of the tables has a father and a mother and a toddler, and there's a couple men that are pretty much eating dinner and drinking at the counter. Now there's also a young man and woman that are enjoying a late night breakfast at another table, and you can see that they have toast and eggs and some bacon and whatnot. So you guys approach the mayor, and he kind of greets you quite with such a cold reception. And he, as you guys approach, he goes, I'm still not happy with you guys about bringing the damn military to Dellsbury. What do you guys need? It looks like I'm having dinner here with my brother, right?
Well, you got a little bit more to deal with in the military on the way to Dalesbury now, sir.
Let me guess, more military men, right? Now the fleet admiral of the Navy's here with an aircraft carrier, right? And he kind of chuckles, and his brother laughs chuckles a couple times also.
No, remember all that legion of dead that we said were heading this way?
The one that the major was talking about, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw them. They're about a day's march out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you being serious? So did he lead them right to our front door?
They were already on their way here.
He takes his napkin, shoots to his feet. He takes his napkin, cleans off his mouth, takes one last bite of his burger, drinks some of his soda, And then he looks at his brother and says, we've got to get ready. We just for something like. And then he looks to you guys and says, how many of them are there? 10, 20, 30.
A city's worth.
a city's worth? You mean
That
hundreds?
would probably be
From
thousands.
Jacksonville.
Oh my God.
Tens of thousands.
So yeah, so it looks like his it looks like he's kind of clambered up a little bit, and preparations need to be made. Like I said, he shoots to his feet, takes one last bite of his burger, and he doesn't. He says, "Jesus, I don't even know if we have enough ammunition in the town to take down these vast numbers of walkers that you speak of." And especially, I know that a headshot will do this, guys, but my people here in the town, they're far from marksmen. We're going to have to increase fortification. And the major, he can take his military men, do whatever he needs to. If he wants to, I don't know, use his Humvees, run through them, do whatever. So the Lewis brothers will pretty much leave the rest of their food on the table, and ask if you guys can go ahead and follow them outside. And then he tells one of his bodyguards to start assembling the town for a meeting. Turns to another one of the men. He orders him to get Fred, which is the owner of the hardware store, and get whatever wood and chain link fencing that he's got left there in the hardware store. And we're going to need to have all of this fortification for the wall, whatever way that they're coming, before the end of the night. So pretty much the mayor and his brother disappear into the town, because now there's sort of like a lot of people coming outside, and the word is getting around that, oh my gosh, all these shamblers are coming towards Dalesbury. So just before they disappear, the mayor turns around to you guys and he tells you guys that he's going to send four men with you guys, and he wants you to hit a town about 20 miles south of Dalesbury. He says this town is called Mayville. And now, the sun is now starting to come up, by the way. And the last time that they were in Mayville, the creatures had overran it. However, it does have an unscathed Home Depot on the outskirts that was pretty much brand new when all of this happened. And there's probably a lot of supplies left inside. So, we
I thought we were exiled. Do you want us to work for you now?
Well, do you want to die, or do you want to get eaten by these things, or do you want to go ahead and just help us out, and we'll figure all this out afterwards?
I'm at least waiting for a please. I mean, I may be 56 years old, but I at least deserve some respect here.
He actually stops. He apologizes. And he says, please, the town needs your help.
Miss Rose,
Yes, dear.
I'm not doing this for him. I'm doing it for all these other people who are completely innocent.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. I just wanted at least something from him.
Yeah, and just as you guys, Sam, just as you come over here, he says, hell, pretty much what you said, Sam. Don't do it for me. He says, hell, don't do it for me. Do it for everybody else in this town. He goes, I don't have soldiers like the major. We've been pretty lucky so far. Help for them. Don't help for me. So, and then, he basically
I was going to do it.
disappears.
I just wanted a
into the
please.
town. Well. And then the mayor then gathers his men and assigns 4 of them to go with you guys, and then informs them of what's going on, tells them what they need, more wood, the chain link, not only from here, at the hardware store here from Fred's, but also there as well. They're going to take all the trucks and bring anything that's going to be able to prove useful. So you guys get everything packed up, ready to go. You don't see Zach, Joe. I'm sorry, yeah, you don't see Zachary or Joe. David or Timothy, the kids are there, are not there, and Gregory isn't either. So you guys get all packed up, get his men, and you get on the road towards the Home Depot. So basically, you guys head out. You guys have a total of 5 vehicles. You know, the morning is quiet as you guys head south along the back roads. Missing, well, you don't miss all of the undead. Of course, you're going to hit the stragglers, and you know, of course, you're going to get, you know, you guys joke around about how many points this one's worth, that one's worth, and you guys start to, you know, travel the 20 miles towards Mayville. Now, it looks as though Mayville has thoughts along similar lines of Dalesbury. Dozens of cars, trucks are piled up bumper to bumper, forming a crude barrier, pretty much like the one back in Dalesbury. Now, behind all of these vehicles and chain link fences that have been erected, there are steady wooden braces stuck into the ground. It seems like it did a pretty good job. You know, there's some of these shamblers and undead that are kind of, you know, kind of tangled up in it. You know, and they're still moving and whatnot, but you guys ignore them. You go, you know, right past the barrier. It seemed like it was pretty effective. Now, also, the one thing that you notice is there's really no ways of getting out. So, but, you know, eventually you do find one, and you can see that there are dozens of these dead shambling about the streets of town. You know, you guys can hear the moans, but, you know, as you hear the moans, you basically run them over anyway. So you basically thin the numbers out as you're going through town. So on the edge of town, as you drive through, you know, and you guys do a couple laps, turn around, take pretty much all of these shamblers out. You know, on the perimeter of the town, you can see the darkened sign of the Home Depot as it kind of sits off. Now, you also see that you know, looks like some kind of shipping houses in the same area. Now, as you guys start to approach, you guys can see several men.
Shipping house?
Yeah, sort of like a shipping house. It's in the same, pretty much the same area as the Home Depot. And as you're approaching,
I mean, like a UPS store or a place for boats?
No, sort of like a just a shipping
Warehouse.
Yeah, just like like a small warehouse, and it's actually in the same parking lot as the Home Depot. So, Sam, as you guys are approaching, you can see several men armed with rifles that are standing outside of their cars in the building's parking lot. And it seems like these guys may know one another. You know, it seems like you know, this was already put together by Dalesbury, because, you know, it seems like they've already been here, and the guys are talking to one another. You know, you can see the Home Depot parking lot. You know, there's quite a few cars outside and whatnot, but it doesn't look like it's been ransacked. I mean, there's, you know, boards up on the front. You know, you kind of see around the side. There's, you know, the door's been boarded up. You know, and the guys that are there in the parking lot with the guns, they're also from Dalesbury, and they explain to you that they basically run guard shifts at Mayville to make sure that you know, these creatures don't, you know, get in the barriers, or if any other, you know, surviving towns try to take advantage of you know, getting into the Home Depot, because they've pretty much claimed it for Dalesbury. You know, the last thing they need is to lose this position, so that's why they basically have, you know, 24 hours a day. They've got shifts set up to where they're basically just keeping an eye on this place. So, you know, you guys are greeted, and everybody kind of heads over to, you know, the parking lot, where one of the, you know, the drivers asks the guards that's there, it's how it's been, and, you know, the guard shrugs and replies, the same as always. and they tell them that the mayor's sending them into the Home Depot, kind of let them know what's going on back in Dalesbury about this massive horde of zombies coming. The guy whistles and then pulls out a radio and says, just have the mayor let us know on the radio whenever you want us to leave the post. Just give us the word. We'll head back to Dalesbury. So
this town is basically empty except for these 4 guys. I mean, everybody else in the town is gone.
Yeah, and if do you ask him about the town? Maybe.
No, I'm asking you if that was the case.
It seems like it.
Just
yeah.
making sure that it's pretty empty. You said it was set up like Dalesbury, but I guess nobody is in it.
Yeah, correct. And if you especially seeing Steve, you probably would ask what's going on with this place. Basically, they were overrun, and they had a quarantine area much like Jacksonville did. And the quarantine area, basically, they got loose, and then they basically just took everybody out in the town. They had a couple of people from Dalesbury had relatives that lived here in Mayville, so that's how they found out about everything. Because a few of the last survivors from Mayville defected and came to Dalesbury and let them know what was going on, and that's when they found out that. There was this Home Depot over here. The mayor sent, pretty much 3. They do 3 shifts pretty much. 3 8-hour shifts to keep an eye on the. They really don't care about anything else. They just want that Home Depot because it's pretty much full of supplies. But that's pretty much what they tell you. Why don't you guys all give me some streetwise checks? All right. Wow.
Well.
All 4 failures, man. God damn.
You removed DM.
All right. No shit. All right. So you guys are ready to go in. So he gets on the radio, calls to another guy that's actually, there's sort of like, those small little, I guess it's the little contractor kiosk or building that's out in front of a Home Depot. Well, he radios over to that, and another couple guys come out of that kiosk, and they kind of wave everybody over, and you guys can go inside. They pull the door. They've got about 4 or 5 different massive chains keeping this thing locked up, and they tell you you just have to be super quiet inside here. But there's a small shortage of wood and chain link stuff because we've already taken some of this back to Dalesbury, but we do have some left. But there's plenty of paint, hardware, other goodies, anything that you guys want is pretty much in there, and even a lot of like sealed snacks and whatnot.
I want flashlight and batteries.
Yeah, he says, there's plenty in there. You'll definitely be able to get to whatever you need in that aspect, in that regards. So you guys get into the Home Depot. They open it up for you as you go in. They kind of shut it behind you. And this place is not even ransacked in the least. And a couple, the other guys that came from Dalesbury with you, they come in also, and they tell you they'll meet you around where the loading door is. So they're like, you just need to get all that stuff there. Be super quiet. Don't take any chances in here, and we'll get out of here as quick as we can. So this is not even like the cruise ship or the hardware store when you guys actually got to dry land again. This is really nice. Everything is the merchandise is like neatly on the shelves. The forklifts and loaders are parked in their designated parking spots still inside the store. Except for the the busted front doors with